friends. So we're talking about one of our symbols this week that represents specifically Memorial Day. It represents America, but it represents honoring our veterans in the military on Memorial Day, which is coming up on Monday, okay? If you go to the store, usually, maybe not these days, but usually you'll see a veteran standing outside and he's got these, or she has these round red flowers that you could put on your shirt, or you could hang them in the car or in your room, and you give a donation. You give some money that helps take care of older veterans. They give them to the older veterans. They give some money to help feed them so they have food and they have a safe place to live. Okay, so a poppy flower is a symbol for Memorial Day because a poppy is a bright and beautiful flower, and it reminds us of all the bright and beautiful things that these people did to keep us safe. Okay, so we made an art project, and this is a poppy art project. Didn't that come out beautiful? So it's simple materials. It's just a white piece of paper and some construction paper. So we chose red for the poppy, black for the middle, and green for the stem or the leaves, okay? This is my finished product, but I'm going to show you on the back how you can complete this project. So I'm just going to take some red construction paper. I'm not going to use a scissor. Because this type, you know how we use different, we call them mediums to make a picture. We use different ways that we paint. We painted with toothbrushes, and we painted with tin foil, and we painted with forks. We use different ways to paint. We use some food coloring to paint. Last week, what did we use to paint? We used the chlorophyll, the red chloroplasts in spinach or leaves to paint that tree. We use all different things to make art. Today, we're using ripped pieces of paper. We're just going to take the paper and rip small pieces. Not too big, not too small. We're just going to rip the pieces like that, right? We're just ripping. Using your fingers to rip. Very strong now that you've been writing for a long time. This is really good to make your fingers strong for your writing, okay? So we're going to rip off pieces, okay? Then we're going to glue them onto the paper. Now, we're going to use the red pieces, right? The red pieces for the flower. So where is the flower? Is it on top? This is what we have to think about when we're working with art. Where are we going to put everything? Is the flower going to go up here or down here? We're going to put the flower up here because we want it to kind of look like a real poppy, right? So we can use one of two types of glue. You can use glue stick, or you can use the liquid Elmer's glue, okay? Whichever one you use, we know that we put the glue on the piece, not the paper. That's how we do it, right? So we are going to, you know, when you use the glue stick, we practice a lot at school. You put your finger down on one side of it, right? Hold it down with the finger and then just swipe it with the glue, right? Like that, okay? And then we're going to just stick that on. We're going to start sticking. Does that look like a poppy to you? Not yet, because you have to put a bunch more on. So we're going to, you could even hold it in your hand and rub it on like that, okay? You may do that, right? You're just gonna, look, that's an easy way to do it. Just kind of rub it onto it. Take the piece and rub it onto the top of the glue. Now, if you're using the liquid glue, what do we say? A dot is a lot, right? Meaning that a dot is enough. If you start squeezing and squeezing forever, it's gonna have a big, gluey, blobby mess, and that's not what we want. So a dot. See, you're holding it here and you're just squeezing a tiny bit, look, that's a tiny bit. A dot is a lot. That's all I need. And when I stick it on, you'll see that it glues perfectly, right? A dot is a lot. We don't need a whole bunch of glue. Is that starting to look like a flower to you? To me too. Okay, I'm going to add 2 more pieces to kind of round it out. Look, a dot is a lot. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to choose another piece right now. Right? And make it look, okay, look, so now it's kind of round like a flower. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's our artwork, it's our expression of a poppy, right? Now, what do I need to add to the bottom? I need to add a stem. So I took my green construction paper. I'm just going to rip off a piece. okay? I'm just going to rip off a straight piece. So it doesn't have to be too skinny. It doesn't have to be too wide, however you want it to look. It's your artwork. So I'm going to see that it's a bit long, so I'm just going to rip a piece off the bottom. It's easy. And I'm going to add my stem right there, okay? So I could either use the stick glue by holding my finger down on the table, right? And pulling across, pull across, right? But you need to hold it down with your finger. If you let go of your finger, what happens? The whole piece lets go, right? But we know that. We've been practicing a lot with that at school. So here we go. There's my poppy flower. Here's my stem. I don't even mind that it comes off the paper. I think that's kind of cool, right? Now, what are we missing? We have the flower, the stem. If we want to put leaves, you could certainly put leaves on it. But we need that middle part. That middle part we know is where the flower makes the seeds. So I just ripped off a small black piece. Then I'm going to rip off an even smaller piece. Now, it's really not like a circle. What I'm going to do is just go around the ends and kind of take off some of the end parts of it and just make it smaller. It doesn't have to look like a circle. I like the way it looks if it's not perfectly symmetrical, right? That means that it does, all the sides are the same. It doesn't have to be. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to stick it on top of there, rub it around like that. Whoopsie. And then I'm going to, where am I going to put it? Right in that middle there, right there, wherever I want, right there. See? Look, isn't that beautiful? I just love the way this project's coming out. I'm going to keep adding as many as I want. I can add smaller, shorter ones down here and higher ones to make them look different sizes. But in the end, this is how it's going to come out. And I think it looks fabulous. I'm going to hang it up. That's how much I like this artwork. And it reminds me to remember the people that took care of my country, the veterans who fought in wars. The poppy is a flower of remembrance. And I hope you enjoy this project.